Not all healthy habits are indeed helping you. These 3 healthy habits turned my life into a living prison, a living nightmare. I was just staying fat with extra steps. Number 1, cardio. The problem is high intensity cardio. I wasn't losing fat, I was just getting tired. I thought cardio, okay, that is good, that is the best thing you can do. High intensity cardio is scientifically the best way to burn off a lot of fat. More sweat, more fat loss. So I ran a lot every day, but nothing changed at all. The scale doesn't lie. The scale was just not moving at all. I wasn't getting leaner, just hungrier and more worn out in my joints, in my muscles. I felt it in my legs every day. I had cramps all over. I couldn't go to my day-to-day job. After every session, I would tell myself I deserved a lot more food, alright? And what would happen is I would reward myself straight out of my calorie deficit, which I didn't know that much about at the time. It became a loop. Run hard, eat more, stay fat again. I wasn't building discipline. I told myself I was building discipline. Who was gonna carry the boats? What would happen is I would burn my discipline. I would burn my willpower. I would crawl on my knees every day because I thought that this is what I need to do. This is what David Goggins did. I got better at running faster and better at running longer. High intensity cardio gave me the illusion of gaining momentum in my fat loss, of progress. But as always, my real issue was the food, the calorie intake. So, what was the fix to all this? What actually started working? The answer is low intensity cardio. And within that bubble is walking, slow, consistent, every day. Boring walking. It's not boring at all once you do it. 30 minutes a day. No stress, no hunger spikes, definitely not a lot of muscle soreness. It also kept me from getting a serious injury. It cleared my head, it calmed my cravings. It didn't drain me at all, it grounded me, gave me more energy. I took more naturalistic photos and posted them on my Instagram, and at this time the fat actually started to come off. Now I should preface this. This is because of my calorie deficit, but this is the most healthy habit that they wanted me to do. Walking helped in adding more to the deficit, but what was really going on was I ate less because I needed less restitution macros. My feet didn't hurt no more, because walking in the end did not make me feel like I earned my food. And by food I mean Snickers bars. It made me feel like I actually didn't need it. Part 2. Eat 5 to 6 small meals a day. So I tried the small eating strategy. I tried 6 meals a day, small, clean, macro friendly. What could go wrong? First off, it felt more like a bodybuilding way. Now, I never dreamt of being a bodybuilder, but it never worked for me. All these small meals would be high in carbs, healthy snacks, and in the end they just wanted me to eat more, not less at all. It would go on to my ghrelin. Never felt full. I was always hungry, always thinking about food, and tracking everything became so exhausting to the point that I just didn't track it at all. For example, I would weigh 50 grams of rice, log every gram of the chicken, and what would happen was I would still be starving 30 minutes after I just pushed that thing into my body. And making such small meals was almost impossible because I would always have leftovers. Now, leftovers is not a bad thing. But what would happen to me is that I would plan a lot of fancy meals. 6 meals a day, guys. I couldn't eat the same thing every day. So what would happen was I just planned a lot of fancy meals, different meals, and these different meals just made the leftover pile so huge that it also cost me financially. So I was obeying the plan, but I was not obeying my hunger. I never got full. So how did I fix this? I tried the OMAD diet, the 1 meal a day diet. It worked. I lost weight, but that was also the time I started doing the cardio. But that would eventually wreck my productivity. I would be exhausted from being that full after that big meal. Imagine trying to fit 2,500 calories into one single meal every day. You will get tired of that. And what would also happen was I would get hungry again at night, and especially in the morning. So I shifted away from that as well, into eating 2 balanced meals a day instead. I would have one big one in the morning and one smaller one in the evening. Now that was my sweet spot, and what I still do to this day. That will mean no more constant snacking, no more overthinking every gram, just real meals, actual satiety, and also less chaos in my head. But you gotta figure out what works for you. That is the beauty of the fitness industry. Something someone says is not a gold mine. What I say, what some big influencers say, should not impact your ability to make your own decision regarding your fat loss phase. What your body and what your brain can live with should be up to you. Part 3. Cheat days. You always hear these fitness influencers, these big guys making huge things about these cheat days. You see these videos, 10,000 calorie challenge. Not saying I won't do it in the future. They're always about going crazy on a cheat day. So I thought I would do that too. I thought I had balance figured out. 5 days of clean eating, then 1 cheat day a week. But the problem is when you're overweight. You're dealing with these emotional triggers. You're dealing with these emotional cravings that I am still struggling with today. And us people can destroy a whole week's worth of deficit. I would even argue that we could destroy a whole 2 weeks worth of deficits if we really wanted to. When I had that cheat day, I thought that I was just going to go up to maintenance. Boy, was I wrong. I thought I could handle it. You can't when you're that overweight, unless you're very disciplined. And essentially, obesity and being fat is a disciplinary issue. I could eat 6,000 to 7,000 calories a day, no problem, without even giving it a second thought. I would tell myself I had earned it all week. That one day wouldn't ruin everything, I said to myself. But the scale didn't move at all. And to be honest, I can't say that because I wasn't even weighing myself at the time, because I knew that the weight didn't move. And what would happen was that my mentality always reset. I started the discipline from Monday and then to Saturday when the discipline stopped. I couldn't go all the way. And some weeks I wouldn't have a cheat day at all. And the cheat day on the second week would ruin everything and punch me right back to start. All because I couldn't stay in control of my own body. Again, a disciplinary issue. So how would I fix it? Now it's wrong for me to say that I've fixed this problem, since I've regained to 360 at this point in time. But I will tell you how I fixed it back then. I stopped the cheating completely. Now you gotta think about it as a disciplinary issue, but you can't think about the discipline at all. You can't think that you are disciplining yourself. You have to think that you're doing a lifestyle change. Now I would plan out my days. If I wanted higher calorie meals one day, if I knew I couldn't stay on track, I would plan for those days, and then I would not eat at all the next day. That is not healthy, but that is how I fixed it. And I would imagine that a lot of obese people who are in the same predicament as I am would fix it that way as well. You gotta think of your calories in a weekly sense, not a daily sense. So that means that you have X amount of calories for that week. You just take your daily calorie consumption and you time it by 7. And then you try to figure out how to keep that caloric score, okay? You need to be under that score. Now, as I said, it was a long story. I am still struggling with these cheat meals today. I still have issues with overeating, and most people at my size do. At my size, you won't even feel full anymore, no matter how much you eat. So now I keep fat loss as a long game. I've been at this game for at least 5 years, and you can't expect to make it in one go. But I keep saying to myself, no cheating. And when that cheat day inevitably comes, because it will come, I would account for it at least 3 days in advance, or 3 days post of that spontaneous cheat day. You just gotta make sure that you're not restarting every week. That is the main thing that will keep you from your goal, I promise. Look, I did everything the right way. The way fitness advice and fitness influencers and all of these doctors tell you. All of them just kept me fat in my own bubble, and they kept telling me that it was a long game. Now I know it was a long game, but that didn't help me then, and that doesn't help me now. What really helps me is seeing my progress from week to week. The thing that was working was figuring out what was working for me, and that is a process, and that is a journey all of its own. What I could do without just hating my life. Fat loss isn't about this perfection that you see on the television and that you see on YouTube and TikTok. It's all about consistency, and the consistency that you can survive. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and liking the video for the algorithm. Alright, catch you in the next one.